Welcome. Today we're going to discuss the technique Wings of Silk, its execution, some of the things that can go wrong during its execution, things you can do to compensate or fix those issues, and just general things you should know about the technique. So let's start out with the attack. This is an applied minor with both hands, so you have a double arm lock from behind. Now keep in mind that this falls into a degree of. The system's designed to show you different ways that we can get grabbed and deal with the grab. So this could have been of a bear hug, or I start moving. So it's working on different ranges, and we have different techniques for each of those. But like anything else, timing is everything. If I allow this person to fully put the lock on and start canceling my leverage, there's no way I'm going to be able to execute the technique the way that they are written or designed to be done. Remember, we have an ideal phase. So timing is everything, just like if I was doing one of my techniques of a punch. If I get punched in the face and then try to block, it's not going to work either. So with that in mind, let's talk about what we're going to be doing. So we have a general rule in Kenpo that says to get the upper hand. So physically right now, we cannot get the upper hand. Our hands are below his, he's got us pinned, so we're gonna do this conceptually. Right now, he's thinking about his grab. We wanna start doing things to make him think about what we're doing. So our hands, we're gonna basically be doing a single version of thrusting prongs to the back. So thrusting prongs, we push both of our thumbs into the holes between the hip and the leg. Forward, we're now doing that to the back with the left hand to get them to cancel their depth and height to keep their weight on this leg. And again, it's conceptually to get their mind off what they're doing and to start thinking about what we're doing while we cock our leg up so that we can do the stomp. So let's face the camera so you can see what it's going to look like. So again, the next thing that can go wrong is as I press and then I pull my foot up so I can do the stomp. That's wasted motion. Remember, we're making a cock as separate motion. We want to do that simultaneously. So as I do that, I get my leg up so I can deliver the stomp. So now let's talk about the stomp. Remember, there's a general rule. You have to be 3 times the height of whatever you're stumping. In this case, we're stumping his foot. So 3 times that height. It's all I need to be so I can make this effective. The next thing would be weight transfer. I don't want to stomp with all my weight on my supporting leg. I want to shift the weight to the leg that I'm striking with. So now there's 3 parts in the foot that I can stomp with. I can either do the ball of the foot, side of the foot, or the heel. We typically want to try to use the heel, and remember, we want to make a plus or an X. So if his foot is facing front and rear, I want my foot to face the flanks so that we can deliver the stomp. Now keep in mind, for the sake of the video, both with the stomp and the follow-up maneuvers, I'm purposely going to be missing the target so I don't accidentally hurt my partner. Especially with the stump, so I'm going to be stumping in front of the foot to show you how to do it properly, just not actually stumping on his foot. So, again, as soon as he starts to apply, I want to create a block and then start stomping. So the next thing that can go wrong is I already know the technique, so I want to start leaving to where I'm going, and I start rotating, and then if you notice, I'm actually going to miss, because even if I wanted to hit him, my hips have turned, which put my shoulder out of alignment, and they pull my hip out of alignment, so I can no longer hit this opponent effectively. So we have a thing that we try to be as efficient as possible, and what you end up getting is a nice dance, but not effective. So you want to be effective and efficient. So the idea here is that I'm going to turn the foot, but not my hip, because the next maneuver, I'm going to be scooping to the front. So this is a circular movement going forward, but then I'm doing an upward movement linear. So the elbow goes up under the chin, contouring his body. I'm taking advantage of the open-ended triangle, while I'm taking advantage of the open-ended triangle on the bottom with the circle. So we're doing a circle and a line, forward and up. This is very complex, even though it seems like a simple technique, but it's something you want to work on. So remember, the thing is not to turn your hip until after I've delivered the strike, and then I'll be able to continue. So now let's talk about what's going on with the arm and where we're going to be stepping. So the idea here, again, we can't get the upper hand, is to counter grab. So I'm going to grab by using my arm against his or my body, making a vice-like maneuver before I'm able to use it to my hand and keeping my elbow anchored. So I don't have to try to grab things from the beginning. I'm actually pinning it using my arm and then sliding to get to where I want. So now let's talk about whether we go to the left front flank, the left flank, or the left rear flank when we do the steps. So the problem with going to the left front flank or the left rear flank is that we still have to deal with his other weapons, whether I go to the front or the back. So the better way to go would be completely to the flank, which isolates the other weapons and lets me take advantage of his arm in this position. So now let's talk about the elbow strike. Whether it goes up, forward, down. Yes, it all depends on his elbow. So if his elbow's pointing down, I'm not going to try to go forward. If his elbow's pointing up, I'm not going to try to go up. Right? I'd have to match wherever his elbow is and take that line so I can be as effective as possible. So let's do it one more time real quick. I do the stump, I do the scoop in the elbow, then I get to here. Now I can see where his elbow is, so I'm going to match the angle of his elbow to deliver the strike. And remember, this is opposing forces, so I'm still pulling, anchoring my elbow, and then pushing. The ideal face, again, goes up at the 45, gives you the more margin for error. But again, if I needed to, I might have to change this into like a crossing talon and go up instead of down. So it all depends on his reaction and where his elbow is, not how good you can do the technique. So let's talk about it one more time. Remember, get the upper hand conceptually by getting their weight and mind of what we're doing. Do this as you cuck the foot, 3 times the height of what you're stomping. Make sure you have weight transfer. Don't turn your hip away from what you're doing right now. Foot circular towards the front, elbow linear towards the top. Step, get the alignment, keep this anchor, pin with the arm, slide it to the wrist, match the elbow, and then cover out if you choose. Or if you want to, you can continue to a technique or an extension. Remember, this is one of the techniques where you are left in the middle of a fight and you decide what you want to do from there. We're going to be covering out as our ideal face. So we're going to do it one more time without the explanation. Up. We hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.